In this video, I am going to share with you the 3 secret steps that I unknowingly applied growing up that allowed me to go from a lost, depressed, low self-esteem individual to a purpose-driven, happy, and confident individual. If you can successfully apply these 3 secret steps you're about to learn here, I can guarantee you that within 6 months to a year, your life will change for the better. So make sure to watch till the end because this is a video you don't want to miss. But before you can use these 3 secret steps to start overcoming your low self-esteem, you need to first understand that society will try to tell you that your low self-esteem is oftentimes caused by things outside of your control, like your genetics and your environment, for instance. This is a trap because number one, believing this idea that things outside of you are causing your low self-esteem disempowers you and puts you in a victim mentality. This basically says that you're not in control and these unfortunate things just happen to you randomly. But if you can reject this idea and start taking accountability for your low self-esteem, despite what has happened to you in your life that has caused you to get to this point, you will start to realize that you are the source of your low self-esteem. And if you're the source of it, that means you're the one perpetuating it. And if you're the one perpetuating it, then that also means that you are the one who can stop it. And once you've realized and acknowledged that all of this is true, you can finally begin to start changing it. I actually have a video where I go way more in depth on this concept and I talk about how you are the source of the things happening to you, which you can watch by clicking on the card on screen now. But for this video, all you really need to know is that you are not a victim here. You're the one who's in control here and you are powerful. So just know that by using these 3 keys that I'm about to tell you, you will gain the ability to change it. So with all that being said, let's get into the first key that's going to help you overcome your low self-esteem. Now the first key is affirmations. Why are affirmations so important and why is this the first key that you're going to need to use to overcome your self-esteem? Well, what you need to realize is that low self-esteem is caused by your self-image and perpetuated by your negative self-talk and negative focus. Or, to sum it all up, is caused by your affirmations. If you didn't realize it already, we are using affirmations all day, every second of the day. Your self-talk are affirmations. Your focus is affirmations. The things you do every single day, the people you surround yourself with, the videos you watch, the energy you hold onto each and every day, those are all forms of affirmations. And if you have low self-esteem, it's very likely the majority of affirmations in your life are negative, limiting affirmations. But that's alright, because now you're conscious of this. Everything you're surrounding yourself with, everything you're telling yourself about on a daily basis are all affirmations. So you can start to begin to consciously use this concept. Consciously use these affirmations for something that is good, something that is positive. The next time you have a bad thought in your mind that makes you feel worse, you're gonna realize, whoa, hold on, this is an affirmation and I'm the one who's perpetuating it. So what I need to do now is just change it. If you have a thought that says, I don't like how I look in the mirror, switch it. Say, I like how I look in the mirror. And I know this seems simple, and I know you're probably going to be like, well, what if I don't believe it? But this is where the game comes in. By using affirmations over time, you start to hack your brain. You start to hack your self-image. That will eventually start to rewrite the scripts running in your mind. So maybe for the first month, you look yourself in the mirror and the instant affirmation comes up, I don't like how I look in the mirror. But instead of just letting that happen, you fight it and say, no, I love how I look in the mirror. And then by the second month, something changes. You start to actually love how you look in the mirror. It's a very subtle shift, and you might not even catch it because it happens so slowly. But by consciously using these affirmations over and over and over again, you're gonna start to see how your mindset starts to change. And when your mindset starts to change, your life starts to change. And if you haven't realized yet, when it comes to using affirmations, repetition is essential. I mean, think about it. Your current self-image took repeated affirmations in the past, over time to form. So now to form your new desired self-image, it's going to take repeated affirmations in the present to form and undo all that past programming that's affecting you each and every day. And if you're skeptical about how effective affirmations really are, that's understandable. But there's a reason big and small companies around the globe invest literally billions of dollars each year into messages which are basically just targeted affirmations. They're not just spending all this money for no reason. They're spending it because they know the power of affirmations. They know the power of putting their products, their slogans, and everything else in front of your face repeatedly throughout the day, and how it affects you consciously and influences you to buy their products in the future. And at this point, I know you're probably wondering, like, what are some practical tips? What are some practical ways I can actually use affirmations so I can actually overcome my low self-esteem? And there's a couple. I've tried all these personally, and they all work in their different ways. One of the best ways, in my opinion, is to pick something that you want to focus on in your life. Maybe it's how you view money. Maybe it's how you view yourself. Maybe it's how you view relationships. What I want you to do is to pick a topic, an overarching topic in your life that you want to improve, and then start making targeted affirmations around that topic. If it's about your body and how you feel about your body, start making affirmations on you loving your body, on you having your dream body, on specific things about your body that you enjoy or that you love or that are unique and that you can appreciate. And remember that at first, when you're saying the affirmations, you're not going to believe them. It's completely normal to not believe them at first, and it's completely normal to feel weird when you start doing them. Using affirmations is a bit like the quote, fake it until you make it. And if you keep just being consistent in the affirmations, you're going to 100% make it. Now, when you've done these targeted affirmations, just put them all around your home. Put them in places that you're going to see often. One of my affirmations for a long time was on my phone's lock screen. So every time I'd open my phone, and we all open our phones dozens of times per day, I instantly see it. And that's just an instant affirmation every single day over the years that has helped me become the person I've wanted to become. Another good tip is taking about 3 to 5 minutes every time you wake up and before you go to sleep to look yourself in the mirror and to just say random affirmations to yourself about things you want to improve. You can do this as a targeted session, and I just say whatever comes to my mind. Not only do these affirmations help you reorient your view of reality and how you view yourself, but they also make you feel fucking good. Like, to be honest, if you're not having a great day and you're about to go to sleep and you do these affirmations, if you do them right, you will literally flip how you're feeling. You will feel great and you'll go to sleep great, and you'll wake up on a positive note that makes you do the affirmations in the morning even better. So doing this is a very good way to start and end your day. Now, this video isn't all about affirmations, so I can't give you every single tip in the book. The last tip I want to mention is by using subliminals. Now, subliminals are basically affirmations that are right outside your view, that you don't see consciously. So for instance, on YouTube, you can look up a lot of subliminals and they'll play peaceful music, but in the background, they'll have super low affirmations in the form of audible voices that you can't consciously hear, but your subconscious mind can hear. These are supposed to be really powerful because they eliminate your conscious mind and they go directly into your subconscious. You can find a ton of videos on subliminals throughout YouTube, so I'm not going to go super in depth on them, but I've used them in the past and they are very powerful as well. After a couple of months of using these affirmations consistently, you're going to see that your self-image will have changed and you'll likely not even have realized it. If you had started using affirmations on how your body looks a couple months ago and you stuck to it consistently, within a couple months in the future, you'll likely start liking your body and not even realize it until something happens that makes you realize it. And then you'll start to be like, oh shit, the affirmations worked. I actually like how my body looked. I can't believe I didn't like how it looked before. And you'll 100% know the affirmations are working when you start to get different desires. And what I mean by this is right now you have your set routine of what you do, how comfortable you usually feel when you do things, and things that you generally gravitate towards. You'll start wanting to do different things. You'll start gravitating to things outside of your comfort zone and things you would never have done in the past. This is a 100% sure sign that your affirmations have worked. And this is something I experienced in the past many times before and still to this day experience as well. So great, you're doing your affirmations, you're starting to get these different desires, and you're starting to feel better about specific aspects about yourself. But of course, we have 2 more keys. And using affirmations is not the only thing you want to do when learning to overcome your low self-esteem, because the second key is using shadow work. Now, I can't stress enough how important shadow work is. If you can get good at doing shadow work, you can eliminate the whole process of having to use affirmations. And the reason this is because shadow work is basically you going into your mind and understanding why you think the way you think, why you believe the things you do, and why you react in the way you do throughout life. When you do shadow work, you take the time to understand yourself. And by understanding yourself, you can then change yourself. The truth is, most of us are operating on programming that doesn't even make sense. We are operating on beliefs, notions, and perspectives that we gained as a child, and things that were just told to us that we never even took the time to examine. So if you just go back and think, why don't I like my body? Why don't I like my smile? You can literally go back in time and go back to that first moment that made you start believing that. And oftentimes when you go back to that first moment, you realize, whoa, this literally doesn't even make sense. This is why I don't like my body. This is why I don't like my smile. Fuck that. And the moment you realize that, instantly, your self-image changes and you start to like yourself. That you see how much time that can save you. If you just do affirmations, sure, you can change it over time, but you never really understand why. Shadow work lets you understand the why, and by understanding the why, it allows you to instantly change affirmations. Now, as great as shadow work is, still likely have to use some affirmations, but in some scenarios, it may eliminate you having to use them at all. Now, unfortunately, most people avoid shadow work because, to be honest, when you do this, you have to look at yourself objectively. And that means looking at your flaws as well as your positives. You see, when you do shadow work, you don't only see how great you are, you see how bad you are. And you have to acknowledge that and just be okay with seeing that you have weaknesses, which unfortunately is something most people don't want to do because oftentimes it makes them feel worse about themselves. But if you can do this and you can be okay with seeing that you have faults, that you are not this amazing, perfect being all of the time, you're going to do well because you're going to be letting go of false, limiting beliefs that are holding you back every single day of your life. And you're going to be making space to create new, positive, uplifting beliefs that are going to help you overcome your low self-esteem and overcome many other things in your life that are holding you back. Now, if you have any brief questions, put them in the comments below and I'll try and answer it. Or if you're really serious and you want to guarantee that you overcome your low self-esteem, sign up for one-on-one coaching with me. Also, make sure to download my free ebook that I made to specifically help you navigate and understand the 10 secret stages of success you'll 100% be going through on the journey to achieving your goals. You can find both of these in the description or the pinned comment down below. Now, I know I said affirmations were easy and shadow work was hard, but this next step is definitely the hardest. And to be honest, this next step is the reason most people stay exactly where they are for their whole lives and don't change. Most people will start doing affirmations and they'll make some progress. Some people will start doing shadow work and they'll make even more progress. But the thing you have to understand when you start to overcome your low self-esteem is you have to take action to solidify your new self-image. And this is where a lot of people mess up, because when you try to take action on your new self-image, on those new desires that have been building up within you from you incorporating affirmations and doing shadow work, you will start to feel fear. And that fear will make you want to run away. The hard truth is that when you are learning to overcome your low self-esteem, you're going to have to ultimately learn how to master your fear. You're going to have to learn to use your fear as a compass, a North Star of sorts, that you are literally going to have to move towards and face. It is only in moving outside of your comfort zone, facing your fear and overcoming it, that will allow you to solidify your new self-image and become the confident person you know you are deep down inside. Growing up, we're taught that fear is a bad thing and that we need to run away from it. But this is just not the case. In fact, it's usually the opposite. Now, obviously, if you're in a life or death scenario, it's probably a good idea to run away. But most things we feel fear about in our current day society is not worth feeling fear from. This is why so many people today are full of anxiety, because we've been lied to and told that anxiety is a mental disorder, instead of being taught that anxiety is a normal emotion that is just indicating to you that you are outside your comfort zone. And the only way to make that anxiety go away is by simply facing whatever is causing you to feel that anxiety and not running away from it. An obvious truth is that if your current life is devoid of fear and full of comfort, you're likely not having a very fulfilling life, because we are meant to feel fear. Fear is essential to growth. They go hand in hand. So if your life is devoid of fear, you're likely stuck in your comfort zone, which means you're probably stagnating. Living in your comfort zone and stagnating is the last place you want to be if you're trying to overcome your low self-esteem. When you're learning to overcome your low self-esteem, you will have to face and overcome your fear countless times. But each time you do it, it gets easier and easier and easier, until you don't even feel any fear doing it at all. The real reason why this happens is because when you are trying to make a change in your life, you are literally holding two opposing beliefs within your mind, and only one of them can win. Is it going to be your old beliefs, or is it going to be your new ones? When you act on your fear and take actions towards overcoming it, you are giving energy to your new beliefs and weakening your old ones. But if you're running away from your fears and avoiding them, you're giving energy to your old beliefs and you're weakening your new ones. Only one can win, and it all depends on you and the actions you choose to take. And unfortunately, in all the time that I've been doing this step has been unavoidable. So if you really want to change your low self-esteem and your self-image, there will come a time where you will have to face your fears. This is the reason why the strongest people are also the most courageous, while the weakest people are the most fearful, because the weakest people are ruled by their fear, whereas the strong rule over their fear and use it as a tool to continually grow stronger and create the reality they want to live in. I have experienced this many times. Just doing this YouTube channel was terrifying for me. I mean, I'd never spoken in front of a camera, and sharing ideas like this is pretty uncommon. But with each new video I do, it gets easier and easier, up to the point where I don't even feel that much fear anymore doing this. So if I can do it, I know you guys can do it too. So if you're feeling like you can't do this, you definitely can. And the risk is definitely worth the reward. Now, understanding and applying all three of these key secrets consistently will significantly boost your chances of overcoming your low self-esteem. But like most people, if you have low self-esteem, you're probably experiencing symptoms of depression as well. That's why if you want a little extra boost, make sure to watch this video.